Okay, this one's fun. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get some pushback on this a little bit, and that's okay. But manspreading, I don't know what the fuck the problem with it is, but I think this is hilarious. One time, I had an apprentice, a nice young man, that was a little more culturally, with it. And he said something about manspreading, and I was like, what the fuck is manspreading? And he goes, manspreading. I was like, yeah, I don't... Okay. I took a guess, and I was thinking you take your scrotum, and you grab it, one hand on each side, and you pull it apart, and you try to make like a backdrop for like a projector screen. You spread it, and then you hold it up for the projector. That's what I was thinking manspreading was. He's like, no, manspreading. It's where, like when you're sitting on the subway, and I was like, dude, I live in fucking Oklahoma. I've seen the subway one time when I was in New York. I went to Graham, whatever the fuck, the Central Station, and I went in there, and I saw, and I was like, no. Too many people with fucking drugs in their system, too much shit going on, I'll pay extra for a cab. And when I say cab, they had a thing called Uber Seat at that time, and we had a kid that was still in a car seat, so we had to use Uber Seat and car services, which was expensive. But the point is, I'm not fucking doing the subway. But he was like, when you're in the subway, and I was like, we both live in Oklahoma, but go ahead. When you're in the subway and like somebody's sitting with their legs apart like this, like taking up more space than they need to. And I was like, no, I'm not familiar with that. And he's like, when somebody's like spreading their legs to take up more space and I was like, no. And he's like, well, you do it all the time. He was talking about how I sit on a couch. First off, this couch makes it where I can't manspread. But people in society now think that the way that men sit is a problem because their legs are too far apart. Now, if you're wearing a fucking kilt, I agree. Keep those legs together. We don't want to see your sack. But if you're spreading your legs, like, who does it fucking hurt? First off, your legs aren't going to go much wider than your shoulders, A. B, most likely, the guy with his legs spread not touching other people with his knees. And C, you could always just politely go, hey, dude, could you just scoot the leg in a little bit? I need some space. And he was like, no, it's not about that. It's about dominance. When a man spreads his legs, he's making you look at his genitalia because he's trying to show you that you're inferior. And I was like, no. When a man spreads his legs in the summer, he's trying to get airflow to his fucking swamp nuts because his nuts live in a cesspool of swampy sweat. It's hot and humid and shit. You're in a box with a bunch of people and you want to fucking keep your legs together and get fucking sweaty nuts? You know what's worse than manspreading? Having a date with a guy who took a shower 4 hours ago, and then you're a nice lady, and you're going to be a polite lady after the date, excuse me, and you decide that you want to perform a nice act on him. And then you manspread for him, and you get hit with sweaty ball stink. That's not fucking cool. You know what we should do? Manspread all you want. Doesn't fucking matter. It's not a real problem. It's some made up shit. If somebody thinks that my knee distance is their problem, that person needs more problems because they have too few problems. Because if you're focused on my knees being too far apart, you clearly have not been shot at this fucking week because that's a real problem. You haven't had a phone call from a lady that you may or may not have slept with that's late for her period and you live in Oklahoma and she's trying to figure it out. That's a real problem. You probably haven't had any real problems in your whole fucking life. So, here's what you do if you have a problem with people's manspreading. Look up a little bit. Look to the left a little bit. Look down. Look right. Just don't look at their fucking crotch. We don't want you looking at our crotches anyway. And look at this. I manspread my arms, so now you got to see, oh shit. What about girls? What about when girls yawn and they go, and then I have to see the bottom of their ewy breast? Ew, I don't want to see the bottom of your breast. I'm just joking, I do. Please show me the bottom of your breast, unless there's something wrong with them, and then no. Because even if there's something wrong with them, the top of a titty seems to be the best part of it. Top and front. Somebody's outside. Top and front are the top two, side even. But when you have a bad titty, you can make the front look good. Now, what I will say is if you have titties that are too far apart, the fuck is out there? Let me know what you think about this one. Sometimes there will be a lady that her boobs on the inside are too far apart, and then she'll wear something to create cleavage, but she'll have like this lopsided weird gap that starts at her chest, and it's kind of creates like a triangle, but it's not very symmetrical, and it's just a weird titty gap. Like if your titties can't be pushed together from the sides, you should figure out a different way to display them, because what happens is it looks like a really wide butt crack on a plumber, and it goes like this, and then we see a weird hole, and it makes us feel like something bad happened to you. So when you're showing people your cleavage, if you can't get them squished together where it's got a nice cleavage, just like a butt crack down the middle, and a tight one, there's other options for you. But if you got wide titties, like, okay, let's say when you feed your baby, you could put another baby between your titties, and it wouldn't touch your titties, and that baby could just be stuck between your titties. You gotta arrange that cleavage a little different. You can't be cleavaging like all fucking cattywampus. You gotta know how to work your cleavage. Okay, so this has been Andrew manspreading about manspread and lady spreading and cleavage. Thank you very much for your time. This was a short episode for a reason. I'll see you next time.